Let's start with the main character. In this game series, Kratos is a mortal-born demigod Spartan warrior with a vendetta against Ares. Now, in Greek mythology, there is a character named Kratos, but that's where the similarities end. Kratos in Greek mythology was never mortal, never Spartan, and never had a vendetta against any of the gods. He was born the god of power and strength, son of the titan Pallas, the titan of battle, and the goddess Styx, primordial goddess of the river Styx. He is also an ally to the gods, not their enemy.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
Since Kratos says, "I will send you back to the depths of Hades," I'm guessing these are supposed to be the undead Greek beings known as Vrikolakas. I know they're not shades because those appear later in the game as wraiths, so assuming these are Vrikolakas, Vrikolakas are not organized soldiers who wield weapons. They're honestly a lot more like traditional zombies, including the fact that they eat human flesh, which they don't seem to do in this game. I know this is gonna shock people, but there are actually no random magical red orbs that increase people's stats in Greek mythology. If Kratos just picked up a Gorgon eye, shouldn't it be turning him to stone? I mean, that's what they do, and he obviously looked at it. Also, Gorgon eyes don't grant you health. Gorgon blood does. It's actually kind of funny how close they came to being accurate there.
Sign it. Save me.
Okay, so in this game, the Hydra seems to be a kaiju-sized, three-headed sea dragon, whereas in the actual myth, it's a roughly human-sized, nine-headed land snake. Also, it was defeated by Heracles, not Kratos. The Hydra's breath is supposed to be fatally poisonous, which does not seem to be the case here. In the myth, the final Hydra head was actually immortal. Even Heracles couldn't find a way to kill it, so he ended up burying it alive under a rock.
As we speak, Athens is on the verge of destruction. It is the will of Ares my great city fall. Zeus has forbidden the gods from waging war on each other.
Zeus never forbade the gods from waging war on each other. Heck, several of them openly waged war on each other during the Trojan War. Since this is Athens being invaded by followers of Ares, I can only assume this is meant to be the Peloponnesian War. But if that is the case, there should be an army of Spartans attacking the city instead of just a bunch of monsters. Man, can you imagine how much more interesting that would have made the story? What a conflict that would have been for Kratos? Missed opportunity. Several Minotaurs appear in this game, but in Greek mythology there was only ever one Minotaur. The Minotaur was slain by the hero Theseus, not Kratos.
Aphrodite.
I offer you the power to freeze your enemies where they stand. But you must earn such a gift. Medusa, the queen of the Gorgons. Bring me her head, Kratos, and I will give you the ability to wield its power.
Medusa does not have a snake body for a lower half, despite how cool that idea is. Also, since Athena's the one who cursed Medusa, and the one who ultimately assisted in bringing about her death, it would make a lot more sense for Athena to be giving you this task rather than Aphrodite. Also, you don't need Aphrodite to give you the ability to wield its power. All you need to do to turn someone to stone with Medusa's head is point it at someone and hope they look into its eyes. That's what Perseus did. Getting turned to stone by Medusa's gaze doesn't just wear off. Well, I guess unless you're Atlas. Medusa was slain by Perseus, not Kratos. How is it that these Gorgons are able to turn Kratos to stone during times when he isn't even looking at them? And during other times when he clearly is looking at them, he doesn't turn to stone? Well, it seems in this game, instead of turning to stone by looking at a Gorgon, you turn to stone by being within the gaze's area of effect during certain times. Yeah, that's not in the myth. Okay, I was under the assumption that only the first Gorgon slain was Medusa, and all these other ones were simply lesser Gorgons. However, according to this text, they are all Medusa, and that is highly inaccurate considering there was only ever one Medusa in Greek mythology.
God of war.
Ares and the other Greek gods are not gigantic. Also, when Ares actively participates in a war, he brings his companions Deimos, Phobos, Kidimos, Eris, and Enyo with him. And also his chariot. Ares' army seems to largely consist of undead warriors and harpies, both of which are creatures from the underworld. We find out later that Hades is actively against what Ares is doing, seeing as he helps us in our quest to kill him, so why isn't Hades reining in this insane amount of underworld monsters that seem to be escaping the underworld and joining Ares? Get your shit together, Hades. Oh, now Ares has shades in his army. Another type of creature from the underworld. Seriously, Hades, do your job!
Lord Zeus.
I offer you the power of the greatest of all the gods, the father of Olympus. I offer you the power of Zeus. Take this weapon, Kratos. Take this power and use it to defeat your enemy.
So, Zeus basically gives Kratos the ability to throw lightning bolts like he does. However, Zeus's lightning bolts are handmade by Hephaestus and the Cyclopes, so technically, if Kratos is wielding lightning the same way Zeus does, then every time he uses up the bolts he has on hand, he'd have to put in an order for a new batch and wait for Hephaestus to follow up. Ancient Athens did not have some giant temple to an oracle. It did, however, have an oracle well. Also, not sure why you would have statues of Nike, the goddess of victory, outside an oracle temple. Nike was never associated with that kind of thing, and the only known statue of Nike in Athens was at the Athenian Acropolis as part of the Athena Nike statue.
The Oracle spoke of Pandora's box. Can it be real?
The box exists. It is the most powerful weapon a mortal can wield.
No it isn't. It's not a weapon at all, and does not grant the power to kill gods. It was simply a container for all the evils of the world, which Zeus unleashed on humanity by tricking Pandora into opening it. Also, fun fact, in the oldest version of the story, it wasn't even a box, it was a Pythos jar.
You must find the sirens, Kratos. Only they can guide you to Kronos, the Titan.
A Titan lives?
Well, all the Titans live. They're not dead, they're simply locked in Tartarus, and so is Kronos for that matter. He was never sent to some desert of lost souls with a giant temple on his back. He was chopped into pieces and tossed into Tartarus. None of the Titans can die, considering the fact that they're immortal, just like the gods. Sirens do not look like that. They are half woman, half bird. Also, they do not hang out in some desert of lost souls. They hang out on a small island in the Mycenaean Strait. Also, Kratos can clearly hear them singing, which means he should now be under their spell and thus under their control, but there's no sign of that. Neither this temple nor the man who apparently built it are in Greek mythology. Okay, that's some Moses stuff right there. Wrong mythology.
Artemis.
I offer you the very blade I used to slay a titan.
Artemis never used a blade to slay a titan. The Titan War took place before Artemis was even born, and, as stated earlier, none of the Titans were slain. Also, Artemis uses a silver bow. She is most certainly not known for using a huge, thick, purple sword. Not sure what use a goddess of the hunt would even get out of that kind of weapon. Hades has never been known to have a shield. Zeus and Athena have, sure, but not Hades. Ah, so now we're doing the Shield of Zeus, so you probably think there's no inaccuracies to point out. Well, you'd be wrong, because the Shield of Zeus, also called Aegis, ended up being passed down to Athena and had Medusa's face stuck onto it. Not seeing that here. The only three-headed dog in Greek mythology is Cerberus. There is for sure not some race of tiny dogs that morph into Cerberus clones over time. Also, these dogs seem to have clubbed tails, and Cerberus was sometimes depicted with a snake tail, but never a clubbed one. In what reality does Poseidon leave his trident sitting in some temple for any asshole to take? It's like his most prized possession and symbol. He's pretty much never seen without it. Also, it's a weapon of incredible power, and yet it's never even used as a weapon in this game. Alright, I counted, and this door has exactly 9 muses. Just like in the myth. Props. This hidden chamber has magical sand which contains blessings from Zeus, which is a bit strange considering Zeus is in no way affiliated with sand. You'd think it would be electricity or eagle feathers or something. Centaurs do not have Baraka-style faces. They simply have human upper halves and horse lower halves. There is no gigantic robot minotaur in Greek mythology, even though that'd be really cool.
Lord Hades.
Yo, what's up with this Doom Eternal demonic look Hades seems to have in this game? Hades isn't some monster, he's just as human looking as the other Olympians. Satyrs aren't exactly disciplined warriors. They're basically just a bunch of mischief makers, partygoers, and sexual deviants. It's insanely unlikely you'd ever see one actually challenge somebody to a real fight.
The blades of chaos, forged in the foulest depths of Hades. Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body. A permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. In return, ultimate power.
These Blades of Chaos are not a thing in Greek mythology.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
For anyone wondering, yes, there was in fact a huge rivalry between Ares and Athena, both in Greek mythology and in real-world history among their followers, and Ares' followers did include the Spartans, so honestly, this plotline seems well-researched and I have no issues with it. Bro, Pandora's box is not nearly that big.
Kratos, your quest is at an end. You are the first mortal to ever reach Pandora's box.
No, he isn't. Pandora had it first, hence the name Pandora's Box.
You are becoming all I'd hoped you'd be, Kratos. Now, with your wife and child dead, nothing will hold you back. You'll become even stronger. You will become death itself.
Well, that job's already taken, Ares. You might want to have a talk with a certain guy named Thanatos.
Kratos' life faded, and his cursed soul was cast into the fires of Hades.
Kratos literally dies here, and yet neither Thanatos nor Hermes shows up to bring his soul to the underworld. Come on, guys, get moving. This is probably why Ares thinks that job is available.
And Kratos fell into the underworld, the river Styx beckoning below.
Freshly deceased souls do not fall straight into the river Styx. They are brought to the shore of the Styx, where they are met by Charon so he can ferry them across. Also, are you sure that's the river Styx? Because it's looking like it's on fire, and that wouldn't be the river Styx, that would be the river Phlegethon. Wow, the underworld is looking an awful lot like hell, which would make sense if this were Tartarus, but it is not. When you die in Greek mythology, you can't just leave the underworld. That's not how it works. Sure, there's a chance, but only if you get permission from Hades first, and that very rarely happens. Plus, where the heck was Cerberus during all that? It's his literal job to prevent this kind of thing.
Kratos, return, but too late. Ares has taken Athens. There is no more hope. No hope.
The Peloponnesian War lasted about 30 years. Somehow, I don't think this game's events have lasted that long.
Zeus! Do you see now what your son can do? You cast your favor on Athena, but her city lies in ruins before me. And now, even Pandora's box is mine. Would you have me use it against Olympus itself?
Ares is certainly bloodthirsty, and reckless, and kind of a douche, but he never actually turned against Zeus or Olympus itself. Heck, he wasn't even part of the coup against Zeus that happened at one point, and even Athena was part of that.
After thousands of years, Pandora's box was finally opened.
It's been opened before, by Pandora. Gee, I must have missed the Greek myth where Ares started growing mechanical spider legs out of his back.
I was trying to make you a great warrior.
You succeeded.
Ares bleeds red blood in this scene, even though the deities in Greek mythology are supposed to have golden ichor running through their veins.
Athena, rid me of the memories that haunt me still.
You have done well, Kratos. Though we mourn the death of our brother, the gods are indebted to you.
We promised your sins would be forgiven, and so they are. But we never promised to take away your nightmares. No man, no god could ever forget the terrible deeds you have done.
Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you just give him some water from the river Lethe? That stuff is literally used to remove people's memories. Here, we see the throne of Ares in a room on its own, but all of the gods' thrones are supposed to be together in a semicircle at the top of Mount Olympus. Hello! Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was the most highly requested inaccuracy video, and thank you so much for 500,000 subscribers. And fun fact, in the time it took me to make this video, we actually reached 600,000 subscribers, so wow. I mean, holy crap. You guys are truly the best. I can't thank you enough for that. And speaking of the best, thank you so much to those of you who support this channel on Patreon. Crash, Sage Ty, Lilith Jade Vaughn, Gilda Ramos, Lerakia, Krillidara, Lasse Ehrenreich, Mr. Unknown, Christopher D. Sampson II, Gene Adams, Anthony Miano, Justin Brown, Mark Neisler, Matthew Owen, Neutral Noodle, Darkling, Gavin Lothar, Toby T., Zaggard, Dominic Fournier Bessner, Eva Frost, Jeff Jeffington, Sun Singer, Adam, Aaron Duong, Kane Kendrick, Cade, Lamont Stewart, Maria Potter, Matthew McCleskey, that's a fun name, Miranda Annette, Mitchell Oman, Muhammad Al Dobston, Orthris, wow, we've got a mythical character in the Patreon, Riley McGee, Travis Warren, Walker Gailey, Whoops, Zeon Zerander, Aggie, Anna, Mag's Story, and that is it. Thank you guys so much for all you do. You help make videos like this possible. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.